Hi, I'm Nadas.
And I'm Reese.
And today we're asking, is Jesus our rescuer?
This is Kleer Series.
You only need to scroll through your newsfeed for 5 minutes to see that society is broken on a global scale. Most of us are so desperate to see solutions for the trouble and injustice we see in our world. When you grow up watching comic book films, you get used to seeing everything going bad, but then a superhero steps in the last minute to save the day. It can easily be disheartening when this doesn't happen in real life.
Perhaps the most common objection to the claims of Christianity is that our world is so messed up. Surely, if God existed, he would have done something to fix it by now. The list of problems around us is endless, but the root cause is often the same. When we think about issues like injustice, crime, or poverty, it doesn't take long to figure out that humans are the heart of the problem. Whatever you call the symptom, the sickness is humanity's selfishness. No matter how much we try to progress in society, it can feel like we are spiritually drowning and we don't know how to save ourselves.
Let's use an analogy to think about this idea of being rescued for a minute. Have you ever thought about the challenges a lifeguard faces when they're trying to save souls at sea? The first big problem they have is when swimmers panic and try everything they can to stay afloat in their own strength. When people fight, splash and fail so hard to save themselves, they often end up exhausted by their own failed attempts. This is just like people who are trying to get out of their own mess in life, but their best efforts seem like a drop in the ocean.
The second big problem for lifeguards is when swimmers don't think they need rescuing at all. They haven't noticed how far they've drifted from the shoreline towards danger. They think that everything is going swimmingly until suddenly it's not. By the time they realise that they're in trouble, it's sometimes too late.
An experienced rescuer can see you need help before you know it yourself. One of the boldest claims Jesus made about himself was that he was that kind of rescuer. He came to help those that knew they were in trouble and couldn't get out of it of their own. And he came to save those that didn't even realise they needed saving yet. In other words, Jesus came to rescue the whole world.
Jesus may have been known as a great teacher, but God knew we needed more than an inspirational message to fix the world we live in. The good news of Christianity is that God recognised that we couldn't make it to the shore on our own. We could never save ourselves by our own efforts.
That's why Christians don't stop believing in God when things go wrong. They know God isn't off duty while we drift away forever. Through Jesus, we find that much needed lifeline and discover that God has jumped right into our world and become totally involved.
Stop and think about some of the worst moments in movies, books, and especially in life. It's when the hero, the beloved character, or someone close to you dies. It's the last word, when hope ends. It's the one thing everyone fights against, which means we must not want it. We must not want to die. We must want to stay alive. And yet, this sureness of death, no riches, science, or distraction has ever finally solved or made right. And that is why we need a rescuer. Someone outside our system of pain and death who can live in a way that undoes pain and show that the grave does not have to be it. And that's exactly what Jesus said his death and resurrection did. He showed that those who trust him will raise from their graves just like he did. Yet, while alive, they also get to do what Jesus did for the hurting and abused. They get to join his mission of worldwide rescue.